It's a surreal sight. This Black Hawk moved in just in the last few minutes from the Border Patrol, landing at that Homeland Security office on the Paramount side, right next to the Home Depot, and they are unloading this huge helicopter with, I mean, just boxes and boxes, dozens of boxes of ammunitions, less lethal weaponry. You see these tanks with flammable labels on the side, one after another, an entire shipment, as if they were getting ready for some kind of a major battle. I mean, it really has to be said, this is a remarkable sight in the middle of a suburban street here, where they are just unloading all of these weapons, carts full of boxes and flammable weaponry. So you can see that it just made its own parking spot there in the parking lot of that Homeland Security office on the other side of the river, where all of this is taking place, and just a few blocks from that Home Depot and right across the freeway from where that car fire was, just a few blocks away, and the protesters and Sheriff's Department had been squaring off. But this site here at the Homeland Security office of these federal officials unloading dozens of boxes of weapons and ammunition is just quite a sight to behold here. Something I really don't recall ever seeing here. Guys, back to you.
Look, we're going to continue doing our job. And yesterday we got 118 arrests. You know, I was out here yesterday to kick off this operation. And what people aren't talking about is I served, several warrants yesterday. These were criminal warrants. This is a criminal investigation. And today we're continuing operations. They're not going to shut us down. We're out there right now doing operations. We're going to keep doing operations. We brought in more resources to push back the protesters, but I'll say it again, a serious warning. You can protest all you want. You got your First Amendment rights. But if you cross that line of impediment, or you're putting hands on officers or destroy property, you will be prosecuted. There's zero tolerance on crossing that lines, and that's what we're standing by. We're bringing more resources as we speak. We'll have more resources tonight. We're going to continue doing the job that American people voted Donald Trump in office to do, and we're not going to apologize for doing it.
Now to that breaking.
Yeah, which is the reason why you need agent provocateurs to escalate the situation. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rachak, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at the great millstone who taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect who are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth at the USA, Shalom. And so as you heard the guy say, you can protest all you want, but once you start to cross that line of, putting your hands on officers and tearing things up, and now we got to step in with another order, and you can see them bringing in different resources, certain ammunition, preparing for something, greater than the situation that you're currently seeing, which shows that there's a secret council, with these devils, all right, in which they want things to get out of hand to a certain extent. It's called controlled chaos or order out of chaos, in which they're going to let things seem like this is completely out of hand, justifying them to coming in with that military force, man. You see Trump just brought in 2,000, National Guards, and he's also talking about bringing in 500 Marines, man. So we see clearly what the objective is, and guess who's going to be the face of, terror? That's going to be you tribes. As you see the issue with deportation going on, the so-called immigrants of the Northern Kingdom, in which also you so-called blacks are going to be thrown into that category as well, as you got the left and the right paradigm with the Democrat and Republican currently at alt, at division like never before. So, yeah, there's going to be a civil war, all right? And this could be the beginning stages of this civil war that you see happen right in L.A., and it's also happening in New York as well. Tensions are rising over there as well. So this could be something that can escalate across all the major cities in America, man. Pretty much equating to that great time of civil war, that's prophesied. So at the end of the day, man, look, a snare is being laid. A trap is being laid for you jakes, man. Okay? Because I want to highlight a saying or a quote from Trump back during the time of the George Floyd protest, in which from Independent it says right here, quote unquote, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. See that? Trump echoes notorious Black Lives Matter quote over LA anti-ICE demos. Okay. So he has rekindled that same sentiment back during the time of George Floyd. Will let you know his true intentions. And guess what? As I was just saying before, you need agent provocateurs to escalate the situation. Well, guess what, man? You got what seems to be that over there in Compton. Yes, I'm gonna play this real quick. So you got looting that breaks out in Compton, of all places. California ICE protests grew out of control. See, out of control. Let's check it out real quick, and then we'll get back to the scriptures. But you got Jake in here with no mask on, man. God damn. There you go. So now you got a situation that's grown out of control, that's out of hand. So now, Esau is gonna justify himself, man, into really cracking down. They got live ammunition being brought to the streets. As the guy said, we got more resources coming. So, this ain't nothing but a snare by the devil, man. And you jakes out there who don't know what the hell going on, you're gonna get caught up into it. Let's get this real quick in Jeremiah 30:7. So it's here, it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob represents you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man, because this devil is setting a snare to have you accused and blamed as being terrorists, and you're gonna be the ones who, all right, are gonna have to be dealt with. They're gonna make you look like the ones that need to be dealt with because of all the madness that's going on in America. But it says, but he shall be saved out of it. Now that he is talking about the elect of Jacob. All right, those who turn back and repent, because things are gonna get bad, man. It's gonna get really bad, and they're gonna be mowing you jakes down in the streets. It tells you about it in the book of Second Edges, the 16th chapter. Let me see if I can get this in the GNT. So Second Edges, I think 15, real quick, Salakia. Yeah, Second Edges 15. In verse 14, so the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. And this is ultimately going into World War III, man. America is going to be destroyed at the end of the day. But before that, nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations, man. Okay? There will be great political turmoil, as you see now, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. Is that not what you're saying? People rising up against the ICE, in Trump's order of deportation of the immigrants, okay, while ignoring the legitimate government, breaking into stores, and shutting down the streets, combating the forces, taking up arms and whatever. All right, there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. So at some point, they're gonna have to call in the troops, and they're talking about now, like, there might have to be, curfews set up, right? So the reinforcements, as far as the troops, the military, they're gonna bring forth that security that these devils want, man. All right. So you're gonna be shut up into these cities, not having free access because of the chaos. So because of the struggle for power, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. So after that, what's going to happen? Driven by famine, it's going to get bad and terrible suffering. And people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. Okay. So at this point, all hell's going to break loose. And again, you Jakes, you Israelites will be the target. All right. So let's go to this real quick. 2 Nephi 16 and verse. Okay, and we'll just start at verse 68. A vast mob of people is ready now to descend on you and devour you like flames. All right, they will drag some of you off and force you to eat pagan sacrifices. In the KJV, let's go there real quick in the KJV version. Second Nephi 16 and verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they should take away certain of you. All right, they're gonna come and round you up because of the circumstances, and then they're gonna feed you, being idle by yourself, isolated with things often idols for the sake of security. They're gonna eventually have a chip ready for you. That's what this thing is all leading up to. All this chaos and confusion, civil war, is all gonna be geared towards you having to take this chip for security. And that they can send unto them should be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. For there should be in every place. Even Trump said, hey, we want troops everywhere. All right. For there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right. And they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, which are you Israelites. Right. So this is what's coming. All right. Let's continue. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall it be known who are my chosen. All right. And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So we about to head into some very turbulent times. The Lord's going to turn the heat up, and with these devils are going to hone in on the prey, which are you Israelites as a whole, but primarily, who they want to get at are the elect of Israel. So all this chaos is really geared towards them trying to get after us, man. But you Israelites who rebel, guess what? You're going to get caught into that fray as well, because you are still a target. You see? So hear, O ye my beloved, the house of David, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. Jacob's trouble, but I will deliver you from the same. So for the ones who turn back into Yahweh Shimon Shai, there's going to be protection when these troops come in. Scripture say when the enemy should come in like a flood, the Lord should lift up a standard against them. So we're seeing nothing more than the snares of Esau. That's lying secretly in his den, who's waiting to pounce on the prey. Okay, he's waiting on that perfect opportunity to jump on the poor. with his strong ones, that being his troops. So the stage is set for Jacob's trouble, civil war, and the collapse of America, Babylon the Great. Right, and we'll end up with this right here. In Mark 3 and 23, Yahushua called them over and responded with an illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan, he asked. Satan just means adversary. So how can the adversary cast out the adversary? A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. See that? A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. And this is ultimately the counsel of the Most High. Because as you read in, real quick, Isaiah 19 verse 2, where it says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. This is Heavenly Father speaking. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. This is your modern day Americans. So as we see there's a division with the left and the right wing, that's the Lord doing it. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. See? And the spirit of Egypt or America shall fail in the midst of it because of that division, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to their idols and to the traumas and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. So they're going to start seeking to, their idols, man. People know things in which they take comfort in which they're not going to help them in that day. See? So this is what's currently happening to earth. The Lord is causing division to bring forth the end of America. All right. And he's doing it through Esau Edom, who thinks that he's going to cement his NWO, New World Order, by gaining total control, by the way of a charagma chip at the end of the day. But all this going to come to naught, and America will eventually be destroyed. So, yeah, when the looting starts, man, the shooting starts. So, prepare for shit getting out of hand. Jacob's trouble. So with that, Lord willing, you edify us. Next time I say, Shalom.